Hello, how's everyone? Today I'm going to discuss indie wrestlers and how they are affecting the WWE in a bad way. First of all, let's start with the fact that they are very, very underdeveloped. All of them. All of them pride themselves on being a good wrestler, you know what I'm saying? Like, all of them look up to Shawn Michaels, only from the wrestling aspect. Newsflash, Shawn Michaels was also very charismatic and also gave very good promos. But the likes of Dolph Ziggler, Seth Rollins, they all are terrible. Let's call it like it is. They're terrible. Gifted maybe in the ring, you know what I'm saying, but they are terrible. Let's talk about Seth Rollins first. The guy is the most underdeveloped wrestler I've ever seen pushed to the main event. Can we discuss the terrible reign of his? I know some of you might, blame it on booking, and well, he wasn't booked well, and all that nonsense. Okay, that may be true, but can we talk about the fact that they gave him 20-minute promos each week, and he couldn't get himself over? Can we discuss that? How can they give you a mic each week for 20 minutes on both Raw and SmackDown and you can't get yourself over? The most boring promos I've ever seen in my life. The guy got booed, got boring chants, but all these Smarks mistake that for heel heat. No, it's not heel heat. It's you need to get off my screen heat. Please, you're boring me. Please. You know what I'm saying? It's getting out of control. I'm sick of this. You got Dean Ambrose, okay? The guy just does not look like a star. Can we talk about Dean Ambrose? Dean Ambrose is horrible. I hate his promos, although I will give him credit on the fact that he's approaching his promos differently from other indie wrestlers. He's approaching it differently. Most indie wrestlers talk like they're shooting. They talk in their real life voice. They don't amp up their characters. They don't do anything. Dean Ambrose is so over the top. I hate his promos. He's very incoherent. However, I think his approach is the right approach towards promos. You need to act, amp up your character, and be over the top and eccentric. But what can we do? Vince McMahon is out here catering to Smarks. Like, can we look at the main event, please? How is Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose main eventing right now? Like, even Roman Reigns, for a guy that's supposed to be anti indie wrestlers and should be the anti indie wrestler, he's also bland. Like, how is that possible? Back in the day, homegrown talent used to be very, very entertaining. Like, this is just the current state of the WWE. Indie wrestlers and homegrown wrestlers suck. However, I will give Roman Reigns some credit on the fact that he is, drawing somewhat. I know some of you might say, well, Raw is not drawing, he's always, the ratings are always low and stuff. So what? Raw has always been low. It will always be consistently low. Okay? Newsflash, no one's going to save it. No one's going to save it. However, Roman Reigns was responsible for 2 successful Manias. One of them, the highest selling event in WWE history. Some of you might say, well, WrestleMania sells itself. Well, if that was the case, how come some WrestleManias are more successful than others? WrestleMania sells itself. I bet if Seth Rollins was main eventing WrestleMania, he drew what Roman Reigns drew. All of you will give him credit. Oh, look, Seth Rollins is a draw and all that. No, he's not. No, he's not. Bottom line is, Roman Reigns, I don't like the guy. Okay, he's terribly booked. Okay, he's so boring. However, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because he's drawing. The guy has 15 million Facebook fans, so he's drawing the right crowd. His fans don't consist of, the IWC members and Smarks. His fan base is very diverse, which I like. I like the fact that his fan base is very diverse. But what can we do, man? You guys look up to Seth Rollins. This guy is the worst thing. I can't believe some of you are defending that reign of his. Like the guy, I get it. He was giving terrible material. Everyone gets terrible material in WWE. However, they make the most out of it. Rusev last year had the worst material I've seen in recent years. In history, the worst material. Do you remember that Dolph, Lana, and Summer Rae nonsense? That storyline during the summer? That was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. However, Rusev made that atrocious content he was giving somewhat watchable. He was very entertaining in some of the promos. I can't say that about Seth. Like, how can you not even have one catchphrase? 20-minute promos each week and not have one single catchphrase? How can you do that? You know what I'm saying? How is that possible? However, man, I can't say I'm joining WWE right now. They're pushing the wrong guys. You know, Dean Ambrose is the champ right now. I don't agree with it. Although I do understand the circumstances. WWE only trusts him now because, you know, Roman Reigns is, you know what I'm saying, suspended. They never trusted him. They never wanted him to win. You know what I'm saying? However, it is what it is. But you Smarks needs to stop being in denial, okay? Okay, Seth Rollins failed. He's awful. He will never draw. The guy is boring as hell. He's not good on the mic. Okay, some of you will say, you know, Seth Rollins is very good on the mic. How is he good on the mic? Just because he doesn't stutter? How is he good on the mic? He is the most boring. He says the most boring and mundane stuff all the time. How is he good on the mic? And he just speaks in his regular, like he's shooting, his regular real life voice. He doesn't put on, you know, a voice. He doesn't put on a character. Like, look at The Miz. The Miz, that I always said this. The Miz is the most mistreated wrestler in WWE history. The guy is an Attitude Era type wrestler. The guy emphasizes on promos. His promos are the most amazing things I've ever seen in my life. Let's talk about it. The Miz is out here always bringing his A game when it comes to promos and always over the top. He is always he sells you on the character, the movie star character. I love that, the movie star character. He's so over the top. Wrestlers should be over the top, okay? Some of you will say, well, that doesn't work today. This is not the 80s. This is not the 90s. It should be. If it worked back then. But now you Smarks, the problem is you Smarks are very smart for your own good, okay? You're out here cheering Kevin Owens. Like, so the guy's supposed to be a heel. How are you cheering for a heel? Well, you can cheer whatever you want. Well, you're damaging the guy, okay? And I blame the guy also because he's doing all these quips in the ring, all this funny stuff in the ring, all this funny commentary. Like he's supposed to be trying to draw heat. But he's not drawing heat, is he? He's drawing cheers. He is the biggest babyface in the WWE right now, Kevin Owens. I don't like Kevin Owens either. He is absolutely terrible. But what can we do? Like I said, WWE caters to Smarks nowadays. So expect him to be there all the time, ruining my childhood. All these indies are ruining my childhood. I didn't grow up like this. I grew up with great characters. I grew up with over-the-top personalities. Like, you don't see The Rock. When I see The Rock in the Attitude Era, doing a promo, when I see him in Jimmy Kimmel, doing an interview, guess what? Two different guys, two different voices, two different atmospheres. You know why? Because The Rock is an old-school guy. Okay, WWE these guys don't understand that the shooting style does not work. Okay, that's why I like CM Punk, but I will always hate him for this. Okay, he's the reason why everyone's shooting now. Everyone is shooting. No one is out here giving promos. Everybody's shooting. Like Kevin Owens is out here saying, "I'm doing this for my family." Tell me why I'm supposed to boo this guy. Tell me why I'm supposed to boo this heel who's doing it for his family. Okay? These guys are not drawing. These guys are not drawing. You know what I'm saying? Wrestling is just, no one respects wrestling now. Okay? We will never see another The Rock. Anything, man. Even the top guy sucks. Roman Reigns. He's supposed to be the homegrown talent. The anti. He was supposed to save us from these indie wrestlers. But he's just as boring as them. But he draws. So I'll accept it. But he's just as boring. I'm sick of this, man. I know there's a lot of people who agree with me. The ratings indicate that I'm right. No one is enjoying Seth. No one is enjoying Dean Ambrose. Yeah, you see the bottom, the latest ratings, the second week after the second Raw after Money in the Bank. Yeah, that was a travesty. Everyone was happy last week because Raw, drew some decent numbers. Well, newsflash, it always draws decent numbers when something significant happens in a pay-per-view. That always happens. Seth even drew after WrestleMania when he cashed in the Money in the Bank. And he is awful. Okay? So bottom line is WWE needs to stop catering to these Smarks, man, because they will be the downfall of the company. Okay? Like I said before, crowds do not matter. Crowds do not matter. Let's talk about it real quick. Okay? Look at Nikki Bella. Judging by the crowd, she's the most least over. She's the least over. How do you say it? She's the least over diva. And yes, diva. Okay. Oh, she's a women's wrestler. Yeah, that's very marketable. That's very marketable. Women's wrestler. Give me a break. Okay. She's the least. Judging by the crowd reactions, all the boos and stuff, some would say she's the least over diva. But that's not the case. Look at social media. Look at the merchandise sales. Okay, the girl is a pop culture icon. Okay, not just wrestling fans know her. Okay, the Bellas, everyone knows them. Their fan base is the most diverse fan base there is. Okay, I know you Smarks, always worship the ground Paige walks on. However, Paige fans consist of only Smarks. Like if you go to a convention or a con or somewhere and see the line, it's mostly dudes. Go to a Nikki Bella line where she's signing autograph stuff, it's mostly families, little girls, adult women, gay men, everyone. Because she appeals to everyone. But you Smarks, even how can anyone, like, can we talk about this real quick? You know what I'm saying? Because chants do not matter. Okay, Roman Reigns, gets booed out of the building. He got booed out of the building in WrestleMania. But guess what? The highest selling event in WWE history. So, love him or hate him, the number speaks for itself. Okay? The crowds do not matter. Get that 3 or 6, go. Okay? Back in the day, the crowds mattered. Back in the days, crowds indicated the numbers that WWE got and processed at the end. Like if the crowd was happy, the live crowd was happy, the ratings indicated that. But nowadays, if the crowd is happy, the ratings don't indicate that. Remember the Dan Bryan push and the great WrestleMania moment and all that good stuff? I love that storyline. I thought it was one of the most well-written, great conclusions I've seen. However, man, it pains me to say this. Daniel Bryan and the crowd cheers didn't indicate that in the numbers. The numbers and pay-per-view buys were very low. Look at CM Punk. CM Punk, we never trusted him because, the crowd loved him, but the numbers didn't match that. So everyone needs to understand that, so it's hard right now. It's a tough task for WWE. But if they're gonna push these indie wrestlers, which I have no problem with an indie wrestler, as long as they have a gimmick, a larger than life gimmick or something. But I can't just look at these default characters. You know what I'm saying? Default characters. Good wrestlers, boring promos. And just give them a pass because they're great wrestlers. Okay? No, I will not do that. This is sports entertainment. Okay? I'm trying to be entertained out here. I'm not entertained by Seth. I'm not entertained by Dean. I'm not entertained by Kevin Owens. So, WWE needs to get it together, understand their audience, okay, and not just cater towards Smarks. Because I'm getting sick of this. I'm getting real sick of this. I'm not enjoying wrestling. So that's my stance on WWE. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Tell me in the comment section if you enjoyed this and you want to hear more of my opinions. Thank you very much.